If you are pregnant right now and struggling to get a good night's sleep, waking up tired, restless, or frustrated, I want you to know that you are not alone, and more importantly, that something is not wrong with you, because sleep challenges during pregnancy are incredibly common, yet rarely talked about with the honesty and reassurance women truly need. And this video is here to change that by helping you understand how to improve sleep during pregnancy in a way that feels supportive, realistic, and kind to your body. Because pregnancy is a time when your body is working nonstop, growing a new life, adjusting hormones, shifting organs, and preparing for birth, and expecting yourself to sleep the same way you did before pregnancy often leads to disappointment and self-blame, when in reality, your sleep needs and patterns are naturally changing. And understanding this is the first step toward better rest. Because when you stop fighting your body and start supporting it, sleep becomes more accessible, even if it doesn't look perfect. And one of the biggest reasons sleep becomes difficult during pregnancy is hormonal changes. Because rising levels of progesterone can make you feel sleepy during the day but restless at night, while other hormones can increase vivid dreams, anxiety, and nighttime awakenings. And on top of that, physical discomfort such as back pain, hip pain, heartburn, frequent urination, leg cramps, and shortness of breath can make it hard to stay asleep once you do drift off. And when these disruptions happen night after night, it's easy to feel exhausted, emotional, and worried about how lack of sleep might affect your baby. But here's the reassuring truth: your body is incredibly adaptive. And even fragmented sleep can still support a healthy pregnancy when paired with rest, nourishment, and self-compassion. And improving sleep during pregnancy is not about forcing uninterrupted sleep. It's about creating conditions that help you rest more deeply and recover better, even if you wake up. And one of the most powerful shifts you can make is redefining what good sleep means during this season, because instead of measuring sleep by hours alone, you can focus on how rested, calm, and supported you feel overall, and this mindset alone can reduce nighttime anxiety, which is one of the biggest sleep disruptors. Because when your mind races with worries about sleep, labor, or the baby, your nervous system stays alert, making it harder to relax. And learning how to signal safety to your body becomes just as important as physical comfort. And this is where simple, intentional habits can make a real difference. Because your body responds strongly to routines and cues, especially during pregnancy, and creating a calming evening routine tells your nervous system that it's time to slow down, even if sleep doesn't come immediately. And this might include dimming lights, reducing screen time, taking a warm shower, stretching gently, practicing deep breathing, or listening to calming music. And none of these need to be perfect or lengthy, they just need to be consistent enough that your body begins to associate them with rest. And another key factor in improving sleep during pregnancy is supporting your physical comfort, because as your body changes, your sleeping position and environment may need to change too. And many women find relief by sleeping on their side with pillows supporting the belly, back, and knees, which reduces pressure on the hips and spine. And investing in extra pillows or a pregnancy pillow is not indulgent, it's practical self-care, because comfort directly affects sleep quality. And temperature also matters, because pregnancy can increase body heat and night sweats, so keeping your bedroom cool, wearing breathable fabrics, and staying hydrated during the day can help prevent nighttime discomfort. And what you eat and drink also plays a role, because heavy meals, spicy foods, or large amounts of fluid right before bed can worsen heartburn and nighttime bathroom trips. Making sleep more fragmented, and gentle adjustments like eating dinner earlier, choosing lighter evening snacks, and sipping fluids throughout the day rather than late at night can support more restful sleep without restriction. And it's also important to talk about naps, because daytime fatigue is real during pregnancy, and naps can be restorative. But long or late naps can sometimes interfere with nighttime sleep, so finding a balance that supports energy without disrupting your sleep rhythm can help. And movement during the day also matters, because gentle physical activity such as walking, prenatal yoga, or stretching helps regulate hormones, reduce stress, and promote better sleep at night. And this does not mean pushing yourself when you're exhausted. It means finding small ways to move that feel nourishing rather than draining, and emotional well-being is just as important as physical comfort, because worries about pregnancy, birth, or becoming a parent often surface at night when everything is quiet. And acknowledging these feelings, talking about them, journaling, or practicing calming techniques can help your mind feel less burdened at bedtime. And one of the most comforting things to remember is that sleep challenges during pregnancy do not mean you are failing or harming your baby. Because your body prioritizes your baby's needs and adapts in remarkable ways, and when you focus on improving sleep through gentle support rather than pressure, you create a calmer internal environment that benefits both of you. And as we continue in the next part of this video, we'll go deeper into practical, trimester-specific tips and nighttime strategies that can help you rest better and feel more refreshed, even when sleep feels elusive. So stay with me because better rest during pregnancy is possible, and you deserve support, reassurance, and rest during this incredible season of change. Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're pregnant and struggling with sleep, you are definitely not alone. It's one of the most common challenges, but the good news is, there are ways to manage it. It is helpful to understand that sleep challenges look different depending on which trimester you're in. Adjusting your approach as your pregnancy progresses can make a meaningful difference. What worked in the first trimester might need to change in the second or third. This flexibility isn't a setback. It's a sign that you're responding wisely to your body's evolving needs. Let's start with the first trimester. This is when extreme fatigue often hits, but it comes with a frustrating mix of nausea, frequent urination, and heightened anxiety that disrupts sleep. You might feel exhausted all day but still struggle to stay asleep at night. During this phase, prioritizing rest whenever possible is absolutely essential. Your body is undergoing massive hormonal shifts, so allow yourself earlier bedtimes, short daytime naps, and try to reduce your expectations around productivity. This is the time for recovery. Creating a gentle wind-down routine is also super important because anxiety and racing thoughts are common early on. Calming practices like deep breathing, guided relaxation, or some light stretching can help signal safety to your nervous system before you try to sleep. Moving into the second trimester, many women experience a temporary improvement in energy and sleep. Hooray! But this is also when new things can pop up, like vivid dreams, restless sleep, or discomfort from your growing belly. This is where optimizing your sleep environment can really help. Think about using supportive pillows to help you stay in a comfortable side-lying position. Keep the bedroom dark and cool, and do your best to minimize noise and light disruptions. These small environmental adjustments can significantly improve your sleep quality. It's also helpful during this stage to establish consistent sleep and wake times. Your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm, responds really well to regularity. That consistency helps your body know when it's time to rest, even if your sleep isn't completely uninterrupted. Now, as we head into the third trimester, sleep often becomes more challenging again. This is due to physical discomfort, even more frequent bathroom trips, heartburn, shortness of breath, and that increased mental anticipation about labor and birth. During this time, it's so important to release any expectations of long, uninterrupted sleep. Instead, focus on maximizing your comfort and rest whenever you can. Remember, fragmented sleep is not unhelpful sleep. Positioning becomes key here. Sleeping on your side, supported by pillows between your knees, under your belly, and behind your back can reduce pressure and strain. Many women also find relief by slightly elevating their upper body to ease heartburn and breathing difficulties. Gentle stretching or prenatal yoga earlier in the evening can also reduce the muscle tension and leg cramps that often wake you up later at night. What you eat in the evening also matters more in late pregnancy. Heavy, acidic, or spicy foods can worsen reflux and discomfort, so choosing lighter dinners and calming snacks like yogurt, nuts, or whole grain options can support better rest. And hydration? Try to spread it throughout the day to reduce nighttime bathroom visits, but don't restrict fluids entirely. Balance is the goal. Mental rest becomes just as important as physical comfort in these final months. Thoughts about labor, birth, and becoming a parent can surface strongly at night. Acknowledging these thoughts rather than trying to suppress them can help reduce their intensity. This could be through journaling, talking with your partner, or using a guided meditation app. Another important shift is learning to rest even when you're not sleeping. Simply lying down, breathing deeply, and relaxing your body still supports recovery. Removing that pressure to fall asleep often makes sleep come more naturally. Throughout all trimesters, one of the most important reminders is that your body is preparing you for motherhood. Lighter, more fragmented sleep might actually be part of that preparation, helping you adapt to waking and resting in shorter cycles with a newborn. While this doesn't make the exhaustion any easier, it can help you view these sleep changes with less fear and frustration. In our next video, we'll dive even deeper, focusing on specific nighttime habits, calming techniques, and mindset shifts that can help you fall asleep more easily and get back to rest when you wake up during the night. Improving sleep during pregnancy isn't about fixing your body. It's about supporting it with patience, understanding, and care. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more tips. As we continue, let us focus on the specific nighttime habits and calming techniques that can help you fall asleep more easily and return to rest when you wake during the night. Because improving sleep during pregnancy often has less to do with forcing sleep and more to do with creating a sense of safety and relaxation in your body. And one of the most effective ways to do this is by establishing a consistent, calming bedtime routine, because routines act as signals to your nervous system, letting it know that it's time to slow down, and this routine does not need to be long or elaborate. It simply needs to be repeatable, such as dimming the lights, turning off screens at least 30 to 60 minutes before bed, and engaging in 1 or 2 relaxing activities that you enjoy, like reading, taking a warm shower, listening to soothing music, or practicing gentle stretches. And reducing screen exposure is especially important, because blue light can interfere with melatonin production, the hormone that regulates sleep, and pregnancy can already disrupt melatonin levels, so protecting this natural rhythm can make falling asleep easier. And creating a sleep-friendly environment also matters, because your bedroom should feel calm, cool, and comfortable. And this may include keeping the room slightly cooler than during the day, using blackout curtains, minimizing noise, and choosing breathable bedding and sleepwear to reduce overheating and night sweats. And physical comfort is a major factor in pregnancy. Sleep and using pillows strategically can relieve pressure on your hips, back, and belly, making side sleeping more comfortable. And many women find that placing a pillow between the knees, one under the belly, and another behind the back, provides stability and reduces tossing and turning. And if heartburn or shortness of breath is an issue, elevating the upper body slightly can help. And what you eat and drink in the evening also plays a role in how well you sleep, because large meals, caffeine, and sugary foods close to bedtime can disrupt sleep and increase discomfort, and choosing lighter dinners and calming snacks can support better rest. And options like yogurt, nuts, oatmeal, or whole grain toast with nut butter provide gentle nourishment without overstimulation, and spreading fluid intake throughout the day rather than drinking large amounts in the evening can help reduce nighttime bathroom trips. And when you do wake during the night, which is very common during pregnancy, how you respond can influence how quickly you return to sleep, because immediately worrying about the time or stressing about being awake can activate your nervous system, making it harder to relax again. And instead, gently acknowledging that waking is normal and returning to a calming practice, such as slow breathing, body scanning, or repeating a reassuring phrase, can help your body settle back into rest. And if you find yourself awake for an extended period, it may help to change positions, stretch gently, or get out of bed briefly to do something calming in low light until you feel sleepy again. And avoiding screens during this time is important, because stimulation can make it harder to return to sleep, and breathing techniques are especially helpful, because slow, deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes relaxation. And focusing on lengthening the exhale can signal your body that it is safe to rest. And emotional calm is just as important as physical comfort, because worries about pregnancy, birth, or parenting often surface at night. And giving yourself permission to acknowledge these thoughts without judgment can reduce their power. And practices like journaling earlier in the evening or talking through concerns with a partner can help clear your mind before bed. And another important mindset shift is releasing the idea that sleep must be perfect, because striving for uninterrupted sleep can create pressure and anxiety that actually interfere with rest. And instead, focusing on rest, relaxation, and recovery, even in short periods, can help you feel more supported and less frustrated. And as we move into the next part of this video, we'll explore how daytime habits, emotional well-being, and realistic expectations work together to improve sleep quality during pregnancy, helping you feel more balanced, rested, and resilient throughout this season. As we move into this next part, it is important to recognize how much your daytime habits and emotional well-being influence your sleep at night, because improving sleep during pregnancy is not just about what happens in the bedroom. It's about how your body and mind are supported throughout the entire day. And one of the most impactful daytime habits is gentle, regular movement, because physical activity helps regulate hormones, reduce stress, and promote deeper sleep. And this doesn't mean pushing yourself when you're exhausted. It means finding forms of movement that feel nourishing rather than draining, such as walking, prenatal yoga, stretching, or light strength exercises. And even short periods of movement can help release tension that would otherwise show up at night as restlessness or discomfort. And timing matters too, because movement earlier in the day or in the early evening tends to support better sleep, while intense activity close to bedtime may be overstimulating. And sunlight exposure during the day is another often overlooked factor because natural light helps regulate your circadian rhythm, signaling to your body when it's time to be alert and when it's time to rest. And spending time outside or near windows during daylight hours can help reinforce this rhythm, making it easier to feel sleepy at night. And what and when you eat during the day also affects sleep, because blood sugar fluctuations can lead to nighttime awakenings, and eating balanced meals with protein, fiber, and healthy fats helps stabilize energy levels and reduces nighttime hunger or discomfort. And skipping meals or relying on quick sugars can lead to crashes that disrupt sleep, especially during pregnancy when your body needs consistent fuel. And hydration should be spread evenly throughout the day because dehydration can contribute to fatigue, headaches, and muscle cramps, while excessive fluid intake late in the evening can increase nighttime bathroom trips. So finding a balance supports both comfort and rest. And naps deserve special attention because daytime fatigue is common during pregnancy, and naps can be restorative, but long or late naps can sometimes interfere with nighttime sleep. So experimenting with shorter naps earlier in the day may help you feel more rested without disrupting your sleep rhythm. And emotional well-being plays a powerful role in sleep quality because stress, anxiety, and emotional overload can keep your nervous system in an alert state, making it harder to relax at night. And pregnancy can bring up many emotions, including excitement, fear, uncertainty, and vulnerability. And acknowledging these feelings, rather than pushing them away, can reduce their intensity. And finding ways to process emotions during the day, such as journaling, talking with a trusted person, or practicing mindfulness, can help your mind feel calmer at bedtime. And another helpful practice is setting realistic expectations for sleep during pregnancy because expecting uninterrupted sleep can create frustration and self-blame when it doesn't happen, and shifting your goal toward rest, comfort, and recovery, rather than perfection, can reduce pressure and make sleep feel more accessible. And it's also important to be kind to yourself on days after poor sleep because fatigue can affect mood, focus, and patience. And offering yourself grace rather than criticism supports emotional resilience, which in turn supports better sleep. And understanding that sleep needs fluctuate throughout pregnancy can help you adapt without fear, because lighter or more fragmented sleep does not mean you are doing something wrong. It means your body is adjusting to significant changes. And as we continue into the next part of this video, we'll focus on reassurance mindset shifts and how to support yourself emotionally when sleep feels challenging, helping you move through pregnancy with greater calm, confidence, and trust in your body's ability to rest and recover. As we move into this next section, it's important to focus on reassurance and mindset, because when it comes to improving sleep during pregnancy, how you think about sleep can be just as influential as what you do physically. And many women carry quiet fears about the impact of poor sleep on their baby or their ability to cope with labor and motherhood. And these worries often surface at night, keeping the mind active and alert. But understanding that your body is incredibly resilient can ease these fears, because even when sleep is lighter or more fragmented, your body prioritizes your baby's needs and adapts in remarkable ways. And reminding yourself of this can help reduce anxiety, which is one of the biggest barriers to restful sleep. And one helpful mindset shift is letting go of the idea that every night must be restful in order for you to be healthy, because pregnancy is a season of fluctuation, and some nights will naturally be more disrupted than others. And this does not mean you are failing or doing something wrong. It simply means your body is responding to physical and hormonal changes. And when you accept this, you remove the pressure that often keeps your nervous system in a state of alertness, making it easier to relax. And another important aspect of reassurance is understanding that sleep changes during pregnancy can actually serve a purpose, because lighter sleep and frequent awakenings may help prepare you for the disrupted sleep patterns of early parenthood, gradually increasing your ability to rest in shorter cycles. And while this doesn't eliminate exhaustion, it can help you view sleep challenges with less fear and frustration. And emotional support plays a crucial role as well, because sharing your struggles with sleep, whether with a partner, friend, or healthcare provider, can reduce the sense of isolation and worry. And sometimes simply being heard and reassured can ease mental tension enough to support better rest. And it's also important to avoid self-judgment around coping strategies, because pregnancy is not the time to hold yourself to rigid standards. And if certain nights require flexibility, such as adjusting your schedule, resting during the day, or asking for help, these are signs of self-awareness, not weakness. And learning to respond to fatigue with compassion rather than frustration helps create a calmer internal environment, which supports sleep more effectively than pressure ever could. And relaxation techniques can also support emotional calm, especially when practiced regularly rather than only on difficult nights, because consistent practices like deep breathing, guided imagery, progressive muscle relaxation, or prayer can train your nervous system to shift more easily into a restful state. And over time, your body begins to associate these practices with safety and relaxation, making it easier to unwind at night. And it's also helpful to create a sense of emotional closure before bed, because unresolved thoughts or worries often surface when everything becomes quiet. And taking time earlier in the evening to write down concerns, plan for the next day, or reflect can help clear your mind, reducing nighttime rumination. And another reassuring truth is that asking for help is an important part of caring for yourself during pregnancy. Because whether it's medical advice for sleep-related discomfort, emotional support for anxiety, or practical help with daily tasks, support reduces stress and conserves energy. And as we prepare to move into the final part of this video, remember that improving sleep during pregnancy is not about achieving perfect rest. It is about creating conditions that help you feel supported, safe, and cared for. And when you approach sleep with patience and self-compassion, you give your body permission to rest in the ways it can. And in the final section, we'll bring everything together with encouragement, reassurance, and practical reminders to help you move forward with greater confidence and calm, even on nights when sleep feels elusive. As we come to the final part of this video, I want you to pause and acknowledge how much care and intention you are already giving to yourself and your baby. Because simply seeking ways to improve sleep during pregnancy shows awareness, love, and responsibility. And it is important to remember that pregnancy is not a season where everything needs to be optimized or perfected. It is a season where support, flexibility, and compassion matter far more than strict routines or expectations. And one of the most important reminders as you move forward is that your body knows how to prioritize your baby's needs, even on nights when your sleep feels light, broken, or insufficient, because your body is constantly adapting, conserving energy and adjusting in ways you may not consciously notice. And trusting this process can ease much of the fear and pressure surrounding sleep. And when pressure decreases, rest often becomes more accessible. And another key takeaway is that rest is not limited to sleep alone, because moments of stillness, deep breathing, lying down, and mental relaxation all contribute to recovery. And allowing yourself to rest without guilt during the day, especially after a difficult night, supports both physical and emotional balance. And this permission to rest is not laziness, it is necessary care during pregnancy. And as you continue experimenting with sleep-supportive habits, remember that consistency matters more than perfection, because small, repeated actions like calming bedtime routines, gentle movement, balanced meals, and emotional check-ins create a foundation your body can rely on, even when circumstances change. And it's also important to stay connected with your healthcare provider if sleep difficulties feel overwhelming, because persistent insomnia, anxiety, or physical discomfort deserve attention and support. And seeking help is a proactive step, not a failure. And emotionally, remind yourself that this season is temporary, because pregnancy brings intense changes, but they do not last forever. And many sleep challenges improve after birth, even though sleep looks different in early parenthood. And holding on to this perspective can bring comfort during difficult nights. And one of the most empowering things you can do is speak to yourself kindly when sleep doesn't come easily, because replacing self-criticism with reassurance helps calm your nervous system. And phrases like "I am safe," "my body knows what to do," or "rest will come when it can gently guide your mind toward calm. And these small mental shifts can make a meaningful difference over time. And as you prepare for birth and motherhood, remember that learning to care for yourself through imperfect sleep is part of your preparation, because motherhood often requires flexibility, patience, and self-compassion, and the skills you are building now will continue to support you long after pregnancy. And finally, trust that you are doing enough, because showing up with awareness, curiosity, and care is more than enough. And even on nights when sleep feels elusive, your efforts still matter. And your body is still working in harmony with your baby. So take a deep breath, release the need for perfection, and move forward with confidence, knowing that improving sleep during pregnancy is not about controlling your body. It is about supporting it with kindness, patience, and trust. And you are already doing a beautiful job navigating this journey. As we truly close out this video, I want you to carry one simple but powerful truth with you. You are not broken because sleep feels hard right now. And your pregnancy is not failing because your nights are restless. Because sleep during pregnancy is not meant to look perfect. It is meant to be adaptive, supportive, and forgiving. And when you understand this, a huge amount of pressure begins to lift, allowing your body and mind to soften and to rest more naturally. And one of the most important things to remember is that your nervous system responds far more to how safe and supported you feel than to how many hours you sleep. Because when you feel calm, reassured, and cared for, your body can recover even in shorter or lighter sleep cycles. And this means that every small act of self-kindness you practice, whether it's adjusting your routine, using extra pillows, taking a nap without guilt, or simply breathing deeply when you wake at night, is actively helping you, even if it doesn't immediately lead to perfect sleep. And another deeply reassuring fact is that millions of women before you have moved through pregnancy with disrupted sleep and gone on to have healthy pregnancies, strong births, and beautiful bonds with their babies. And you are part of that same story, because your body carries ancient wisdom that knows how to adapt, conserve energy, and protect what matters most. And trusting that wisdom, even when things feel uncomfortable, can bring a sense of peace that supports rest on a deeper level. And as you move forward, allow yourself to view sleep as something you gently invite rather than force, because the more you release the struggle, the easier it becomes for your body to respond. And on nights when sleep comes easily, receive it with gratitude. And on nights when it doesn't, remind yourself that rest still counts. That tomorrow is another opportunity, and that nothing about this moment defines your worth or your pregnancy. And staying emotionally gentle with yourself during fatigue is one of the greatest gifts you can give both yourself and your baby. Because stress and self-criticism drain energy far more than a restless night ever could. And if there are moments when exhaustion feels heavy, remember that support is available, whether from your partner, loved ones, or healthcare provider. And reaching out is a sign of strength and awareness, not weakness. And finally, hold on to this reassurance as you continue your journey. You are doing enough. Your body is doing incredible work. And even imperfect sleep is part of a perfectly human pregnancy. So breathe deeply. Rest whenever you can, release what you cannot control, and move forward with confidence, knowing that improving sleep during pregnancy is not about chasing ideal nights. It is about learning to care for yourself with patience, compassion, and trust, and that care will continue to support you through birth, postpartum, and motherhood in ways far beyond sleep alone.